What's going on, YouTube? It's Q back here again with another video for you. In today's video, I'm about to show you which one of these two you should buy. Now, I'm going to leave it as unbiased as I can. Going to try and hit you with factual data just so you can make the correct choice for yourself, going by my experiences. Because currently I own the 2024 WRX TR. And before this, I had a GR Corolla 2023 Core Edition. Not immediately before, but I had one last year. So my WRX is not stock looking, got a couple of aesthetic modifications to it to make it look better, because in the stock form, it's kind of bland. And the GR Corolla, this is as stock as it gets. This is a 2025 Premium Plus. And this is going to be the most loaded GR Corolla that you can get at this point in time. Pricing for the GR Corolla, the Core Edition, which is going to be the base model, is going to start off at about $40,000, whereas this, the Premium Plus, is going to be $48,000. So for 2024, the models change between 2024 and 2025. So the WRX, it used to start at about $33,000 for the base, but they removed the base trim for 2025. And now that's going to be about $36,000 for the premium trim. And then the top trim, which was either the GT or the TR for 2024, now it's going to be the TS, which is basically the same, but it has adaptive suspension and the seats on the interior are different. But that's going to jump up from $44,000 to about $48,000. So pricing, which one should you buy based off that? If you buy a lower trim WRX, that's a much better value. But when you compare the top trims, GR Corolla all the way. It comes with a lot more hardware. It got the differentials. We have a better engine, stock for stock that is. It's just a better car. It's a better value, better performance value. When you pay this kind of money for this WRX, you save a lot of money when you go down to a lower trim. Let's speak on practicality. So the WRX is going to be more practical. That's why I have one now, and I don't have a GR Corolla. The GR Corolla is just simply too small to fit my family of four in there. The trunk space is going to be probably larger than the space that we got in the hatch of the GR Corolla. I feel like I can fit more things back here, even though it is a hatchback. The thing that the Corolla does have, though, is the seats will fold down, but it is tiny in this back hatch. So it looks larger on camera, but it's can't fit too many personal items. It doesn't go up high. The shape of it is just because this is cutting in. Like, it has a nice floor area, but that's cutting in. So you're not going to be able to put a box right here because the door won't close. You can fit one back here, but up front it's getting cut in because that's at a slant. Let's talk modifications, because we got like 4 or 5 of them you can see on my car from right here. So the WRX, the modifications for this vehicle is endless. You can completely change this from, if you got a base WRX, you can make it a all-out track performer. Even though this is a track performance car, it'll get spanked by this car on the track just because it is tuned for that. It just does a much better job at being the track car. The WRX is going to take some modifications, but they are plentiful and available everywhere. Like here I got carbon fiber hood scoops, carbon fiber splitters. There's so many added parts that you can get for the WRX. And then once you start modifying the engine, the tunes are readily available. The GR Corolla is not as tune friendly. When I had mine, I put an MST cold air intake on there, and it started throwing engine codes going in limp mode, and it soured the experience because a cold air intake is a simple mod and it's very difficult to actually install. So you see this hose, that's coming from the back side of the engine, so you're going to have to work from that back side giggity of the engine, and it's tight back there. And then you might, I think they should have the cold air intakes in order by now, but there was like a valve to go over the math, and it was just a pain to deal with that. So I ended up taking mine off and going back to stock. And power wise, there are some tunes on other model years for it. I think about 400 was the sweet spot, but then there's going to be outliers. You can get people with 600 horsepower tune. Same with the WRX, but the WRX, a lot of people say it's reliable if you don't go overboard with the power, and it really wakes it up. So from the factory, the WRX, the turbo is like on easy mode, so you can turn up the boost and get 400 horsepower easy. This being the 3-cylinder 1.6 liter, it's kind of I don't want to say it's at its limit, but we just got more room for improvement on the WRX. And speaking of the practicality, I can actually fit in the back seat of my WRX comfortably. It's a big car. It's large for its size. Even though it's a compact car, I fit back here, yeah, comfortably. Got a couple inches of headroom, got a bunch of room in front of me, and I'm 6 feet tall. Got USB ports back here, no air vents. But in the GR Corolla, let's check that out. And mind you, this is going to be on the side that is, the seat is slid up a little bit more. Got to finagle the head up in there. Actually, I got some nice headroom up in here as well. And looking at the driver's side, you can see how tight that is. I don't think I can fit behind myself comfortably without Al Bundy in it. So I can sit over here, but this seat is much further up. But having a family of 4 in this car is just not the move. It's just too small. It's too tight, too close together. And you're also going to notice there's no armrest. We do have an outlet here and one USB port right there. And the armrest in the WRX sucks as well, so it's not a good armrest. In the WRX, we notice we got the armrest right here, but it is so far back to where it might as well not even be an armrest there, because you can barely put your arm on there. So they do have an armrest extension, which I don't know why it wouldn't come with that, because it's so far back. Armrest, why is that a subject of a video? I don't know, but let's talk about these Recaro seats. The Recaro seats in here are phenomenal. They're both about on par. I feel like they're about as supportive as each other. So the only difference is I feel like the seats in the Corolla are more softer and these are more firm. But whatever your taste is, that's going to be that. And if you haven't already, by now you should have checked out the driving video. I'm not about to talk about driving on these two vehicles. I've done that video, so I'm not even going to talk about that. But the GR Corolla is the better driving, the better feeling driver with better inputs. So briefly touching on that, the shifter in here sucks from factory. I beat that dead horse so many times. Had to modify this to even get good shifting feel. The steering is very vague. The Harman Kardon system is nice though, very good for this WRX. The GR Corolla, the upgraded JBL, is not that good. It's just doesn't get loud. The volume isn't there for me, and the basses aren't there. It could use more improvement. But sitting in the GR Corolla, yep, the seats are definitely softer. Economy cars are what these were initially before they became performance-based cars. So going to have some nice leather wrap from place to place, but it's an economy car. So you're going to see some hard plastics throughout the cabin. It's not plush. Interior is kind of basic on both of them. But the shifter in the GR Corolla is really good, much better than the WRX is stock. And you're going to have a couple more features like heated steering wheel on here. They both do adaptive cruise or lane keep assist with adaptive cruise added, where you can have a hands-free type driving ordeal. And the GR Corolla is also going to have drive modes. This is going to set it apart. You can set the torque distribution from 50-50, 70-30, and 30-70 from front to rear. And we have sport mode, normal mode, economy mode, or a customizable mode. There's no economy mode in this car, but you can tune the engine to do whatever. Like neither one of these two examples have an adaptive suspension, but it is available on the GT and the TS trim of the WRX. So this has a firm suspension, but the WRX TR is firmer. The TS should take that away. So which one of these will be the better car for you? Hopefully I laid out something to where you can help make your own decision on buying one of these. For me, it would be the GR Corolla, but it's just too small for my family needs, so I had to get something larger like the WRX. And the GR Corolla is smaller than all of the competitors. The Civic is larger, the Elantra is larger. Everything is larger than this GR Corolla. Even the GTI and Golf R, they're larger. So this is a tiny car. It should be a class below, like in the Yard size, in my opinion. Or these cars should be considered mid-size because they're large. All of those cars are much larger than the GR Corolla. But a lot of people like these small cars. So if you like being able to maneuver or just like small cars, the GR Corolla is going to be the win for you. So that's all I got to say about that. That's all I got to say about this. Hopefully you were able to learn something from this video and make your shopping choices easier. Okay, thanks. Bye.